So I'm sure you can just guess what we're doing today. Why don't we just get right into it? We're gonna be reading Wattpad Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Trouble. Let's hope my reading comprehension has been improved since like 2 days ago. I stand my ground, even though I'm shitting myself on the inside. Did you just say something, Leather Leader asks? Yes, I did. Jessie tugs at my sweater, silently pleading me to stop. The rest of the leather boys all seem to raise their eyebrows. Even some of the coat boys are surprised. Imagine like being a principal at this school. Like, you're just like doing your job and then all of a sudden these two gangs like in fancy coats and stuff are just like, stop it. I don't know if anyone out there is British, but whenever I like think of a British person, they're just like not like scary to me. And I told this to my British friend. Hi Aline, if you're watching this, you're not because you don't know I have a YouTube channel. Like a British person could be like, I'm gonna stab you, you motherfucker, and I'll be like, well, expecto patronus. Leather Leader sneers, turns into a cruel smirk, and he starts checking me out. If you plan on opening your mouth again, I can find suitable ways to shut you up. First day at new school, okay? Hey guy, I need to get to class. You mind moving? Fuck. My throat tightens at that. He would enjoy that. And go threaten one of your whores, Bowman, Coat Leader growls. You're the one with the whores road. And since when do you care about who I threaten? Leather Leader and Coat Leader get into an intense argument that, unsurprisingly, drift back to territories their goons are also intensely into the argument, and thus I grab my chance and turn to Jessie, and she looks like she's on the verge of fainting, so I do what all girls do among large guys. I simply crawl my way out. Can't see me! Just on my way, moseying down the street. Who are those guys? I demand when I'm certain Leather Leader and Coat Boys aren't following us. What were you thinking? I was thinking that I don't want to be late for class and that I don't have time for guys with huge egos, I explain. They're not just any guys, Amber. They're One Direction. They're not just any guys, Amber, Jessie says. They're the guys. West and East Gang. They've been rivals since the dawn of time. Those gang names are just so lame. Gangs? Well, sorry for disturbing the poor little boys in their toddler fit. I laugh. It's so ridiculous. Gangs? Gangs aren't hot boys having an ego brawl, right? I mean, in this story they are. Oh my god, Amber, this isn't child's play. These guys kill people. That gets my attention. If it was really that bad, then they would have been in jail by now. Or worse, expelled. Okay, Hermione, shut the fuck up. I have had way too many Harry Potter references in this series, so, like, let's calm it down. I point out and chuckle at my own nerd joke. Not that I'm a nerd, of course, yeah, you are, shut the fuck up. Not if you're either bribing or threatening half of the town. Tyrell is not the town, it seems to be, Jessie says. Maybe talking back was a bad idea after all. Like, yeah, it was rude, but it was also rude of them to be in the middle of your way, and also you're a nerd, you fucking nerd-ass bitch. Jessie is practically buzzing with nerves when she says,
that guy you talked to back there was the one with the leather jacket and the black hair. He's the leader of the West Gang, and he doesn't have a good side. He says, I'll kill you, talk backside. Something I'm assuming you're on right now.
why are my feet tingly?
Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
It's like right by my phone. Eat. Okay, everyone say thank you to Bailey for killing the spider. Yeah, there was a big-ass spider. And oh wait, the hot, rich-looking guy that Blake was arguing with, he is the leader, Eastside Gang. Literally a sex god. Okay, you know a little bit too much about this Owen guy. Like, get it, girl? But, But high school girls seem to be below him, and just because he can kiss a girl doesn't mean he won't kill one either. They're both dangerous, Amber. Like, anybody can. Like, literally anybody. Just, like, you don't even have to be good at anything. You can just... I don't kiss and kill. Wait, do I? My mind is spinning with all the information I have to process. Gangs, killing, dangerous. This is nothing like my average high school with my average friends and a bit above average life. This is as stupid as it is to admit exciting. Oh no, Amber, you have that look, Jessie says. What look? Oh, what a nice game kind of look. I sent her a grin. I don't know what you're talking about, I say. You've got to be kidding me. Jessie and I quickly make our way to our register class, which fortunately is the same class. When we have our seats and our fat, sweaty teacher is satisfied with our excuses, we turn to each other again. Is there anything else I need to know about these gangs? I ask my cousin. Jessie bites her lip before saying, well, in crime, there's only 4 kinds of good business. Drugs, prostitutes, loaning, and guns. Theft and all that comes in between. What's that supposed to say? What's that supposed to say? The West handle drugs and the East handle girls. It's big money, Amber. They aren't messing around, Amber, Jessie explains in a panic. Well, we know what Jessie does. Freaking Debbie Ryan over here just like getting. How is it that you know so much about the gang life? Because she's fucking Owen, okay? She literally has had Owen inside her. I suddenly noticed that we should have maybe talked softer, so I lower my voice and lean to listen in. It's mostly just gossip, but okay? I might have dated one of the Blake guys in my rebellious phase. Okay, first of all, no, you dated Owen, we all know it. I almost laugh out loud. Jessie dating a gang member, I heave in hair. I can totally see that while she was in her rebellious phase, she was all about high heels and tight clothes. That's not rebellious, that's just cute. Calm down, you know what rebellious is? Crying every night. It's not a joke, Amber. I almost got killed during a gang shooting. The next day we broke up. Jessie scowls. You waited till the next day? God, that's rude. Why didn't you just do it like in the middle? Pew pew. Pew pew.
Hey Owen,
Pew pew.
this isn't working out.
I go a little cold at that gang shooting. Melissa and Robert Marigold were found dead in their homes, Melissa having 2 gunshot wounds and Robert with 8. It is believed that it was a robbery that went wrong. Their daughter was found hiding under their bed. Amber, huh? You did it again, she whispers. Before I can say anything or do anything, the bell rings and I'm off to my very first class of Tiger Ball. Gangs, drugs, guns, and prostitutes. My parents wouldn't want me to get more involved than one accidental back chat. The robbers that killed my parents could, after all, have been in a gang or something. I'm so deep in thought about how to avoid the whole gang thing that I don't notice the brick wall I back into, or more precisely, the guy. The impact sends me following backwards, but then the guy grabs my waist before I know what's happening and has me trapped in a tight hold. Careful where you walk, he says. I look up, and of course it's just my luck to have co-leader, aka Owen Rhodes, holding me. Why don't you careful where you walk? I shoot back, then realize my sentence structure is all wrong. So I say, I mean, why don't you be careful where you walk? Why don't you should be careful. I'm such a mess right now. Owen lets out a breathy chuckle, and damn the gods for giving him a perfectly minty breath.
It's called toothpaste, bitch.
You have quite the little mouth on you, Goldie, he says with a smirk that would send any normal girl melting. Okay, whenever someone says smirk in one of these, I always laugh because I imagine this. You have quite the little mouth on you, huh? And you have quite the ego on you, I fire back. Well, I have quite the ego, so I guess I better get on you. Girls either run from me or try to kiss me. What the hell are you, Goldie? That just makes sense. First, I'm a basic human being. Secondly, my name is not Goldie, I point out. Then what is your name? He whispers and leans in even more. A lock of his copper brown hair falls out of place and is practically tickling my nose. How long is his hair? Is it just like, what is your name? Would I be in even deeper shit if I sneezed on the gang leader? The little amount of space between us suddenly feels lessened, even less, and his protective holds turned into a possessive kind of one. One of his goons, a brunette guy with a scowl, comes up and says to Owen, we have business in Park Street. I take it as my chance to escape. Excuse me, but I have to go, I say, and because this guy is way taller than me, I only have to duck and shoot before my next class between one of his clutches. Okay, that even furthers my whole what is your name thing, because how long is his hair? Is he just wiggling his hair at her? Before Owen even knows what has just happened, I'm gone and in my English class. I've always loved English. That's such a long reaction time. And then she just dips out and I'm like, where did Goldie go? I've always loved English, and based on the longing gazes of the girls in the class, they love it as well. The teacher, who I assume by his name is Mr. Wessels, sends me a pointed look when I enter the class. A bit late, but then his pointed look turns into something I can't exactly recognize. There's a few awkward seconds where Mr. Wessels solidly stares at me. Not an admiring kind of one, but rather something more. He fortunately returns to his sentence. Well, you must be Miss Marigold, Mr. Wessels asks. Yep, sorry that I'm late, sir. I couldn't find my way. I lie, because how do you explain Owen Rhodes? Very well, Miss Marigold. Please take a seat here at the front of class. He says and sends another girl to the back. I take my seat and some of the girls here are actually glaring at me. Wow, if looks could kill, but then I figure it out. Mr. Wessels is, as you put it, hot. He's the kind of guy that could have been a model, but decided he'd spend his life teaching. He has wavy, almost curly hazel hair, his dimple in the corner of his mouth whenever he slightly smiles. So as I was saying, we're going to be discussing The Great Gatsby for this semester. Mr. Wessels continues, any of you care to tell me what The Great Gatsby is about? Nearly every girl shoots her hand up, but I can already tell they're going to be wrong. It's not the dyed hair or the acrylic nails that sends me that one does not read with hair and nails. It's the fact that they're all staring at where Mr. Wessels' abs ought to be, a glazed look over their eyes. Can't tell if someone has abs through their shirt. They are staring at his stomach. Mr. Wessel seems to be well aware of the girl's lack of reading skills and obsession with his abs, so instead he turns to me. Miss Marigold, you look like someone who can give me an inkling of an answer, he says through a dazzling smile. Half the girls basically faint. Well, I start The Great Gatsby is about the complicated love between a man and a woman, more specifically Gatsby and Daisy. The main theme of the novel, however, is that much larger and less romantic scope. One of those themes is hollowness of the upper class. In The Great Gatsby, the sociology of the wealth is explored, more specifically how the newly minted millionaires differ from and relate to the old aristocracy. The country's richest family in the novel, West Egg represents the newly rich, while East Egg represents the old aristocracy. I explained, I only know this because we discussed The Great Gatsby in my previous school. One of my favorite things about The Great Gatsby, I read it before I read it. Ooh, look at me being all reader. My favorite thing is that the story isn't told by the main character, it's told by a side character, which I love it when authors play with who tells the story rather than what the story is. All heads turn to me. I wish the earth can just swallow me whole because I am such a bookworm right now. There's nothing wrong with reading, God, shut the fuck up. Hashtag fighting the dumb blonde cliche I want to tell them. Nothing, and I promise you this, nothing makes you seem more douchey than speaking with hashtags. Mr. Wessels is honestly impressed and is about to congratulate me or something, but the door suddenly swings open and in comes bad news. Leather Leader, aka Blake Bowman. I expect Mr. Wessels to scold Blake or at least tell him to be early next time, but instead Mr. Wessels goes very quiet and very still. The whole class does. Everyone is either looking down or shutting their eyes, so to see me openly staring must be quite a surprise. Instead of shooting me a glare, Blake conjures his cruel grin. He swaggers over to me and the girl that next to me quickly dives for another seat as Blake goes ahead and sits next to me. That, I say, can't possibly abide to any of the school's rules. The whole class seems to hold their breaths. Darling, I don't abide to any rules, Blake replies. My name is not Darling, I growl. I've had quite enough of these two boys and their little names for me. Then what is your name, darling? I think I'd like to go on with class, thank you, I say. Mr. Russell does nothing except stare, maybe even glare. I think you and I need to go for a drive, Blake says through a smirk that says he knows what he's doing. He has me cornered. Let me think about it. I'll let you know after I'm dead, I reply. It wasn't a choice, darling, he said, grabs my arms. What the? Blake practically drags me out of class and sends a pleading look to Mr. Wessels. You can't let him do this, I protest, but Mr. Wessels only lowers his gaze. I helplessly get dragged out of class. What the hell is going on? How can they let this happen? This isn't legal. When Blake has me out of class, he spins me around, has me pinned against the locker. I told you I can find other ways to shut you up, he purrs. Something tells me I'm in more trouble than I'd like to admit. She just straight up got kidnapped. So that was chapter 2. If you want me to do chapter 3, I probably will, whether you say you want me to or not. But if you have any other recommendations for different Wattpad stories, I am down. I am mother freaking down to do those. So just leave those down below. But if you do have other Wattpad stories where you're like, this is shit, I really want her to react to that, I will read that. But if you have anything that's even not on Wattpad or just a regular story that you're like, oh, I love book reviews. Here's this, because I actually do watch a lot of book reviews, fun fact, and I would like to read more books because I'm going to be doing another book review after I finish rereading one of the books I really love. Why are my feet so tingly? Thanks for watching.